Hey there, Dr. Darcy here with your abundance challenge. At this recording, I am doing it as well because I think abundance is awesome. I think abundance of all sorts is awesome, but we on the inner journey, we on the conscious creating path, a lot of times we don't like to talk about money because people are like, yeah, but it's not just all about money, Darce. It's about, the abundance of all things good. I love the abundance of all things good. I absolutely do. And I also really love having enough money. I love having enough money to not only pay my monthly expenses, but to do things that feel joyful and fun and expansive for me and for those I love. And I feel like those of us on the inner journey, it's actually our responsibility upon the planet right now to know that both things are possible: love and money, spirituality and money, being a beneficial, blessed, beautiful being on the planet right now, and having enough money to live easily and joyfully. On your abundance challenge, if you so choose it, I would like you to pick either 5-day challenge. Do that one if you feel real nervous, like, I don't know if I'll do more than that, or 7-day challenge, or 21-day challenge, or 30-day challenge. There's not actually one that's better or worse. Obviously, when we string together more wins, it makes things bigger and more graceful and Godspeed in our manifestation. But 5 is going to get it done way more quickly than none at all. And 7 or 21 is better than 30 if it feels right with your soul. So when I say that, for you, what's your abundance challenge right now for this first one that you're doing with me? Is it 5 days or 7 or 21 or 30? Pick that, write it down, look to see what date it is. Today, as you're watching this. Now, you may have heard me talk about the 4 non-negotiables for manifestation before. And the 4 non-negotiables, there's a lot of really amazing ways to manifest. There's a lot of different programs, a lot of different books and podcasts, and they all have all of them have beautiful merit. For me, to kind of squish it down into the 4 non-negotiables, the one is, and these are not in order. Think of it's like a wheel. One is action steps. We must take action steps on the planet. We don't get to sit around and meditate and think that the apple's going to fall in my hand. I think it's possible for that to happen, but I have to be a master in self-mastery to do that. And in order to do that, almost all of us need to figure out how to be successful on the planet, successful humans, with our money, with our bodies, with our relationships, with our spiritual connection, with our jobs or careers or work. All right. So the first non-negotiable is action. The second non-negotiable is the one that very often us on this inner journey we've heard about. And we're like, yes, of course. But it's the one very often that we don't put into action as often. And that is practicing feeling as if it's already done. Practice acting like it's already done. Practicing visualizing as if it's already done. It's the inner work. So the action steps are the outer work. I don't know, whatever you want to call this second one. It's visualizing or acting or really feeling as if it's already done. The third one is self-love. Not like done, I'm done, but practicing self-love. If you've been around me any amount of time, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's because Darcy said practicing self-love is the one thing strong enough that gently nudges me or makes me or inspires me to do the things I know I need to do to create the things I want. And then the fourth one is to never give up. In your 5-day or 7-day or 21-day or 30-day abundance challenge, there's no giving up. If you're like, yeah, maybe I don't really want that. Um, if you don't really want that, then don't start your abundance challenge with it. But if right now, when you're watching this, you're like, I want to increase my income, or I want to get a new project where people are paying me well for it, or I want to get a little bit of a debt paid off, or I want to purchase that car, I want to schedule that vacation, or I do want to go get a massage, or I do want to just feel the ease of financial abundance or financial security. Pick whatever your thing is that you want to work on. So you've picked how many days you're going to do this challenge, and you've picked what is it that you want to work on. It can be something bigger, like I want to have a $100,000 income this year. Or it could be something smaller, like I want to get a new speaking gig come into me. Or it could be any of those other things. I want to schedule or pay for a vacation that I wanted. Think of anything that you go, yeah, abundance challenge, abundance challenge. Here we go. All right. So you've picked how many days and you've picked what the thing is that you're working on. So it's not just kind of this vague thing like, yeah, just more abundance. In this one, I'm actually working on specifically money, increasing money. Yes, I know that abundance, as we already said, is part. There's all sorts of big pieces of abundance: feeling love, feeling safe, feeling your spiritual connection, feeling the prosperity of the universe move through, all those juicy things. But for me right now, I'm actually talking about money. Figure out for you on this abundance challenge what it is that you're working on and how many days. And then all you're going to do is you're going to look at those 4 non-negotiables. Which one of those do you go, yeah, Darce, I know I need to do my action steps. I know I need to do more reach outs, or I know I need to make that call, or I know I need to create that content, or I know, I need to write that weekly blog, or I know I need to ask people if they want to purchase my program or my, coaching services. Or you're like, yeah, I wanted to write up that proposal and give it to my boss and say, I want to be on this. So is it action steps really out in the world that you go, I know I need to, but I keep not doing it? Or is it the inner journey? Is it, I really do, for 5 minutes before I get out of bed and for 5 minutes before I get into bed at night, to visualize me with that thing that I want, or with that check coming at me or into my bank account through Zelle or any other delicious way, for you to visualize it and imagine what it will feel like. Or you go, yeah, it's not really the action steps. I can kind of wrestle things to the ground. And it's not even maybe the inner work for you. Maybe you're like, man, I've been doing my affirmations. I've been, kind of working on going, what kind of person would I be if I already had that good that I want? Then for you, maybe it's the third one, which is the practice of self-love. When you're practicing self-love in earnest, even if it feels odd or uncomfortable, you literally raise your frequency, you raise your vibration. And that's where the solutions, that's where the miracles and the magic, that's where divine consciousness brings all these cool things together. You with what you're wanting, with somebody else who could benefit from what you're wanting. Do you know there's people who actually really, really want to be able to pay someone for the good work or the good service or the good product that they have? There's people that want exactly what you have to give out. That's cool. When you practice self-love, you raise your vibration, you raise your frequency so that it's easier for us to play in the field of consciousness where all these good things come together. The fourth non-negotiable is to not give up. So during the abundance challenge, of course, don't give up. But what I want you to do for the amount of days that you have said is your challenge, for me, for much of my life, it was to do the inner work because I know about the inner work, but visualizing as if it's done, feeling how I feel, when I'm even more abundant and I feel sassy and fun and happy and proud and easy for a while. When I really was like, have you been practicing your inner work, Darce? Have you? I was like, no, but I know about it. So for a long time, the one that I needed to do, because it felt like that's where I'm kind of off balance a little bit, was the inner work. But now, as I'm talking to you right now, as I'm recording this, that inkling, I'm like, oh yes, more for me during my abundance challenge. It's more of the action steps, reaching out to people who could use my services and my awesome skills, creating the programs, making the offers. And the other reason for me that it's right now not practicing self-love is because I just got finished with a self-love intensive program. And so even more than I normally have been, I've been doing so much awesome self-love practice. All right. So for you on your abundance challenge, does it sit right with your soul, with your higher self? We're going to ask your higher self in a minute to kind of come and sink in, to help you figure out how many days work for you and check it off somewhere. How many days? Also, have your higher version of you, your higher self, sort of come in and go, on this abundance challenge, is there something real specific I want to work on? Do I need to keep it a little more vague? You're always your highest authority. Your inner guidance is always your highest authority. That is one of the awesome principles for self-love. And then also check in with your higher self and go, if I'm going to do this challenge for 5 days or 7 or 21 or 30, is it most graceful in Godspeed? Is it most beneficial? Does it get me into the field of miracles and possibilities more? Is it for me to work on self-love? Is it for me to work on action steps, real life action steps? Or is it for me to work on daily, consistent seeing, feeling, visualizing as if it's done? So now let's check in right now. Taking a nice big inhale. Exhale all the way out. With your eyes open or closed, invite your higher self, the highest frequency of you. Invite the still small voice of love. Invite the energies of God or goddess, nature. Invite your inner being or the field of consciousness itself. And just imagine that those energies could drop down into your awareness, into your body, into your thoughts. And now check in. 5-day challenge, 7-day, and 21 or 30. And what gets kind of like a zing? I thought for sure I was going to do 30, and my little zing was definitely a 21. All right, 21 days for me. Figure out what it is for you. Next, what specifically do you want to work on? What part of abundance, if you worked on it for your abundance challenge, would you feel proud and happy about? And maybe pause the video to write it down. And now check in for your challenge, for your abundance challenge, in the most graceful, effortless, easy, highest and best for everyone concerned kind of way. Is it right for you to work on consistent, small baby, but consistent action steps during this challenge? Or the inner work of visualizing and seeing and feeling as if it's done? Or practicing self-love that will allow you to invite in this good? If you'd like, in the comments, let me know what number of days you're going to do. And if you feel drawn, check in again. Action steps, inner vibration, or self-love? In the comments, I'll write which things feel like it's right for me. My name is Dr. Darcy Lord. I'm a self-love expert. I know for sure that when we play in self-love, inner guidance, and conscious creating, that we're not only a huge beneficial presence for us and our own lives and for those we love, but literally all the way out onto the consciousness of the planet. Thanks so much. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if it's beneficial for you if you haven't yet. Thank you so much.